We also have with us Representative Craig Goldman. He is joining us from Capitol Hill. He's a Republican of Texas, and he's on the Energy and Commerce Committee. Sir, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Mimi. Thanks for having me.
Before we get into Venezuela, just wanted to get real quick your reaction to the ICE shooting in Minneapolis.
Yeah, a complete and total tragic event that happened in Minnesota. I personally have seen the video. I think we all have. I completely believe that the officer was defending himself. The young lady was projecting her vehicle at him, and he has every right to defend himself. But just a complete and total tragic situation there.
Turning now to Venezuela and military action there and the capture of the former President Maduro, your reaction to that?
Well, one, let's be very clear. He was a communist dictator. There were free and clear elections held in Venezuela, and he disavowed those elections. And he said, I am remaining in power. The amount of suffering of the people of Venezuela has gone on for decades. And there's precedence there of what happened in regards to what we did years ago in Panama in removing Manuel Noriega. So the president had every right to complete this action. Incredible thanks to our troops and our people in intelligence who went in there with incredible precision and just performed a perfect mission. And so I think there's presence there and every right to remove him from power.
And House members were briefed yesterday on the administration's actions. What did you learn from that?
Well, what we learned, General Kane probably gave the most incredible presentation of the mission, and just the amount of weeks, months, years of preparing for the mission, the incredible preciseness of it. Only a few injuries, and our hearts and prayers are for the few troops who are still in the hospital recovering from the gunshots. But just incredible precision and incredible intelligence, and no loss of life, no loss of aircraft. Just an incredible, if there's one takeaway from yesterday, it's, my goodness, we have the best armed forces in the world.
You're from Texas, so I want to ask you about Venezuelan oil. The Washington Post has the headline, U.S. vows to control Venezuela oil sales indefinitely, and also Energy Secretary Chris Wright announced that the administration will control Venezuela's oil flows for the foreseeable future. Have you heard from oil executives in your state about this and what they're thinking right now?
I have not, and the situation is still fluid. And Secretary Rubio touched upon this yesterday, and Secretary Wright couldn't be there. But Secretary Rubio said, "Look, this is a very fluid situation, right? One was to get Maduro out of there. That's been done. Now it's who's going to lead the country, who's going to run the country, and what happens to all those oil reserves for the time being." So I believe this is a temporary situation and a very fluid situation.
Now, the Financial Times is reporting that U.S. oil companies have said that they need guarantees in order to invest in Venezuela, as the president wants. How much is this going to cost the United States? Would you be in favor of the American taxpayer guaranteeing American oil companies?
Well, the president is meeting with the oil companies, I believe this week, the oil company executives this week, and I think they'll come to a very good solution that benefits everybody.
And there is also news about the United States seizing 2 oil tankers linked to Venezuela. Are you in favor of those actions, and what do you expect as far as further action?
Yeah, Secretary Rubio touched upon that yesterday as well. Those were not defined oil tankers. They were not registered to any country. And so we kind of have an idea with the intelligence of where those oil tankers were headed, and so we had every right to seize those oil tankers.
And on Monday, the president's senior advisor, Stephen Miller, had said that the United States absolutely has the right to take Greenland. What are your thoughts on that? And would you support the administration if they decided to take Greenland militarily?
I think enough members of Congress have spoken out on that, and I don't think there's any support for military overtaking of Greenland, and so I don't think that's going to happen.
The House also on a separate topic on ACA extensions for Obamacare. There is set to be a vote this week. What do you think of that, and where would your vote be?
Well, I'm going to vote against it. I think there are enough votes for it. I think enough, I believe there are about 8 Republicans that are voting for it with all the Democrats, so I think it'll pass the House. I don't think it'll pass the Senate. We're talking about subsidies that were put in place several years ago by the Democrats. Not one Republican voted for these subsidy extensions or for these subsidies. They were put in temporarily after COVID. They were set for 5 years with the understanding that they were going to end after 5 years. Now, all of a sudden, the Democrats want to rewrite history and say, oh, we need to continue to extend these subsidies. And again, not one Republican voted for it. And they're the ones who put the 5-year deadline on there. The Democrats did to cover COVID. So the problem is this. We have a major healthcare issue in our nation, a healthcare affordability issue in our nation. And the Energy and Commerce Committee oversees healthcare in our nation. We are working morning, noon, and night to come up with a solution. Not easy, certainly not easy at all, or else it would have been done by now. But it's a major problem in our country that affordability for health care is not, it's just that, unaffordable. Obamacare, when they said it was going to be affordable, is completely unaffordable. And everybody in America agrees with that. That's everyone agrees that their health care is unaffordable and in some cases unattainable. And so we're working hard to bring solutions to this problem. We can't keep kicking the can down the road, extending subsidies when they don't work.
All right, that's Representative Craig Goldman, Republican of Texas and a member of the Energy and Commerce Committee. Thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me. Greatly appreciate it.